Hello again. So, today I saw a video that gave me a lot of hope. It was about Regen Village. It was an episode of Future Thinkers. They interviewed the CEO of Regen Village. And I'm excited. So this is a CEO, a business model for doing a very gamey thing of producing villages that are community oriented, that are economically self-sustaining, economically self-sustaining, and also environmentally sustaining. In fact, they are, in a matter of speaking, their own environment. Very exciting. I'm blown away. So what's great about it is that it puts feet on. It's a philosopher's stone, right? I think the philosopher's stone is an analogy. It's okay. We've got all these great ideas in our heady philosophy. Everything's working perfectly. What if we could put that on the ground? What if we could get that power that seems so obvious in our minds and put it here in the world? I think that's what the Philosopher's Stone's really about. And that's what he's doing. He's doing a Philosopher's Stone of the highest ethical order, of the highest, that targets the biggest problems of our future: sustainability of our environment, of our economic models, of our ethical choices regarding each other and our environment. So I'm very excited about that, and I wanted to got me thinking, what if instead of things like the Aerosmith slogan, or at least I associate with Aerosmith, of eat the rich, what if instead of eat the rich, or instead of overthrow the government, these violent rebellious overthrowing of ideas of ideas of violent retaliation and overthrow of rebellion, what if instead it is developed, and we develop, the people develop a method of an alternative that is so preferable that and is so useful. Like the problem with communism is you just couldn't actually make it work. That's why it got violent. But what if we made something that was so perfect, so beautiful, that met human need and responded, like pulled out of the shadow the hidden darkness of man's souls and put it to use, found a way to put it to use for good. True shadow work of the race itself on a human scale level, not on an individual scale. What if we could make a story meaning an economic story, a environmental story, a business model story that was so obviously right that we just walk away from the government as it is, and from the business models and the economics as they are, and we just exodus from it. Not physically, we're not leaving anywhere, but we just move our commitment strategy, our contracts, if you will. We build contracts together to create a whole new economy and government from the grassroots up, as if the grassroots were to grow up into a structure that replaces government itself. Whew. That's a beautiful vision, right? I really want to be a part of making that happen. Something so exciting that it's just obvious. People are just captured by it. They're just like, whoa, heck yeah, I want that. So, yeah, I guess that's the first point I had about Eden Village and what it's about. Not Eden Village, sorry, that's a local deal. Regen Village. And then my second point would be, what technologies might we need, not only physically but psychotechnologies, as John Vervaeke would say, which maybe these don't quite qualify as psychotechnologies, but I think they get pretty close. So there's, Eden Village represents some. This is a way of farming, and a way of, I'm pretty sure they're pretty much off the grid. I'm not sure about that one. But what if we could get off the grid? What if we could get off the grid in every single way? And I'll go ahead and make this point. I think I'll tell you what, here's one of the old psychotechnologies of the capitalist system that is one of those things that promises so much good and yet makes us fragile. And that is comfort. Comfort is this wonderful, wonderful thing that just, oh my gosh, I don't have to work so hard. And, at least that's what the, the farmer in the field and the I hate to use the word third world country, but the third world country individual sees the comforts allotted to those in a capitalist society, and they're like, I could use some of that. But it also makes us fragile. I know of a man from Africa who came over to the States to visit family and friends, and was just in awe of all the things we have, the technology, and how much food is in the he talked about how he saw a kid open up a fridge at somebody's house and say, "There's nothing to eat," and the guy's like, "What are you talking about?" Sorry to try the accent, but it's like, he was like, the fridge, it was full of food, and this kid is looking in saying, why do we have no food? It was he was cracking me up with that. Anyway, and then the other point is that for all the technology we have, that man from Kenya, I can't remember if he was from Kenya, sorry, wherever he was from, that man could, he knew how to go out and hunt for food for his family and gather. And, you hear about people living off of $1 a day, and if you're in a capitalist system, you're just like, my gosh, how is that possible? What can you buy for $1? And the answer is, it's because they work their tail off, hunting, gathering, farming, bartering, going through junk piles, reclaiming whatever they can. They're outside of the economy because they don't have enough money to participate in the economy. And that makes them anti-fragile in a sense, right? I mean, God bless them. I wouldn't want to live that way, and I don't want them to have to live that way. But my whole point here is that there should come a time where comfort is something we choose to let slide. We choose to be less comfortable. And in fact, that's what you're doing when you go running every day, even if there's an endorphin rush, to get started doing that process, to go to the gym, to take care of your home. All of these things are the uncomfortable things we do to make our lives better. Now, of course, the rich person might pay to make those things easier, but I'm suggesting, and of course, as a result, we all wish we could be like that, unfortunately. But what I'm suggesting is that there is a spiritual good to the discipline of letting go of our comforts, fasting, spending time in meditation and prayer, study, even things that you don't want to study, going without, living beneath your means. If we are going to not crumble as a society and as a world, I think we're going to have to learn to go without some of our accustomed comforts and find a different way of living, different level of living. Okay, so go check out Regen Village, please. The technology that they are advancing in that company, I'm so excited about, but I wanted to mention a few others. I don't remember the specific names, but these are important, I think. One is there is a movement to create blueprints for machinery, farming machinery, and building machinery that can be built either easily or with certain types of 3D printers. There are even attempts to make a 3D printer that can be used to make itself, and to have it open source. That is so exciting. Like, so you download this, or somebody makes the first one, and then they start making others of it for others, and then you can use that machine to make your farming equipment and to make everything you need to basically have a kind of self-sustaining technology. And they are developing ways of getting iron ore by yourself, with minimal technological implements, so that a small community could be utterly self-sustainable, get their own minerals and whatever they need to continue. That's a technology we have to have if we are going to truly be anti-fragile. I like the term minimally optimized. So if we can make our society minimally optimized, we can begin using technology in a way that is truly robust and anti-fragile, and that we can have a degree of technology and comfort, so that life is not misery, but have the amount of discomfort that is optimal for being anti-fragile, for being proud of ourselves and what we can accomplish. We're not being, kind of having an inner sense of guilt for how easy our life is. And then I wanted to point out, here's an idea, just a random idea I thought of. Phones that, instead of being the harbingers of expensive technology that they are, harbingers, I guess I didn't need to say that word, but are just remote access points to a larger system. So, I think of that as being the solution for the expensive cell phones that are always trying to be upgraded. Instead, you just have these simple to make, small, they don't have to be as compacted, because all they do is route video and audio to that machine and commands back. Cell phones would be so much cheaper to build that way, and would not eat up so many resources, and would not have the upgrade issues. Instead, you just upgrade the central systems. That was just an additional thing. But I wanted to point out also that so Vervaeke and others talk about, I guess Vervaeke doesn't. Vervaeke talks about psychotechnology. Game B people talk about the technologies that could end our society, which Game A is not equipped to deal with, which is destruction of the environment, the creation of genetic and AI even, but also genetic and nanobots, basically. So these technologies, if they're as powerful as we think they can be, I mean, atomic bombs, obviously, very powerful. But if our war technology continues to be as powerful as we think it could be, and as it is, we can completely wipe life out on this planet altogether. And Game A worked fine. Game A meaning to compete with each other, not only inside of a game in a playful way where we actually respect each other, but we're playing a game, so we're competing, but such that you're competing on every dimension of life, in every way, that you're trying to overcome your opponent on every level. Perhaps within a veneer of social respectability, or perhaps not. But Game B is the alternative to that, or is trying to be, or is a filter to try to get rid of the influence of too much Game A, so that there's only a minimal idea of culling out bad ideas as a type of sorry, my brain's not working well. As competition, as a type of competition, and like, I think there are levels of competition we have to have. So I'll move on from that. I wanted to make the point, though, that it's not just those things that we have to worry about. the bombs, the weapons, the nanobots, that kind of the AI. We don't just have to worry about that. Part of the technologies were, like I was mentioning before, our comfort and our pleasure are a level of technology that prevents us from being as effective in the world as we could be, and as good, and as united in our environment, and living as sustainably as we could. Our comfort help is a technology, psychotechnology, if you will. The ability to build a society that can do this is a type of psychotechnology, not just technology, and that comfort can destroy us. And then also the ideas of rhetoric, of advertising, of polarizing people, of even social media, and that, apart from that, but that's another vessel of this rhetorical technology, psychotechnology. It's become very refined, right? Very capable of manipulating and controlling us. That is also a technology that can destroy us and can prevent us from getting to a point of sustainability with our environment and with each other. So I just want to make that point, because it's important that we have a psychotechnology, a new one, a game B one, that can overcome the game A technologies. I suspect some technology or set of technologies of self-actualization, a story of self-actualization that is so good that a powerful and filthy rich CEO will look at that story and go, oh my gosh, I'm wasting my time. I'm empty inside. I want what they have. The billionaire playboy with everything he wants will be like, I want that. I feel so empty. I want that. The politician playing to the crowd and taking money from a million different interest groups is like, no, this is not how I want to live my life. That story is so much better than the way I'm living my life. We need to build that kind of technology. My suggestion is that we develop a methodology of commonality, and I'm trying to do that. I've got some ideas about it, and I'll make that in another video, and have been making it. But if we can find commonality, and if we can build a story of commonality that is so powerful that it just captures everyone, that everyone just seeks to repent of their ways, literally in a kind of religious, emotionally freeing way, then we're getting somewhere. Thank you.